Well, hello there. Welcome to a conversation with one of my clients. I'm Linda Hales, your host, and I am being joined by Monica Charisse. I love your name. Say
Hi.
something. Okay, good. I'm like, say something so we can hear you.
Hello.
Oh, today I'm talking a little bit about, you know what, a couple of topics, but we're going to focus on this theme of rise and disrupt. And I wanted to speak with Monica because Monica's been with me. She came to me. We'll talk about how we met and then how we work together. But she specifically came to me to learn some sales, strategies and techniques. And since I'm going there, Monica, first of all, introduce yourself. What do you do in the world?
I'm so happy to be here. And thank you for inviting me, Linda. I'm just really, really thrilled. We'll talk about this. I am a coach for high achieving women in approaching 40 plus. So
Okay.
for the woman who was the people pleasing perfectionist who was raised in an environment where she was taught to basically be the person everybody else wanted her to be and follow everyone else's expectations. And now she's gotten to a point in her life where she's been super successful and has all the outward markers of success, but like very little joy or satisfaction in her life. Come to me. That's what I do. Help you fall in love with your life again and recognize that midlife is the juiciest time in a woman's life.
It is the juiciest time. And the reason I laughed is because my ADHD brain is always on 10. Okay.
Mine too.
So when you said, oh, and they come to me, I'm like, baby, come to me.
Mhm. Let me put my arms around you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh, that is so funny. Okay, so you said, and we'll talk about this. So let's talk about this. You said I work with high achieving women, and we'll talk about this.
Yes. So we were in the prep for this conversation, and you, Linda, had a very interesting angle on the term high achieving. And I consider you a high achieving woman because at the point in your life where I met you, I'm like, this woman is doing things and going places. And everything about your presence and the way that you show up in the world and the results that you've been able to achieve for yourself, particularly in such a short period of time, I'm like, oh my God, like she's on fire. So I identify with women who have definitely achieved a lot of results in their lives, primarily through their careers. They've gotten into corporate America or the government, wherever it is, or nonprofit, and they've risen up the ranks. They would now be considered senior level professionals, C-suite executives. And even though many of them, as I was once, that woman as well, struggle behind the scenes. They have everything that it looks like on the outside that equates with success, and yet really are dying on the inside. So, high achieving women for me are the women who've gone out there, they've been the go-getters, they have accomplished, they've risen up the ranks. They have what would be considered success. Houses, cars, clothes, trips, all those things.
And I said that I don't
Mhm.
resonate. I don't connect with the term high achiever.
Yep,
And you were like, that's interesting.
it is.
So I will explain why. I was a I didn't make this term up, but I say it all the time. I was what I would say a basic bitch in my previous life. I was a woman. I was nothing. Look, my father said you're gonna be nothing but good, but to have kids and be a mom. And so that's what I
Mhm.
was, nothing but a mom. And I was in a very abusive marriage. And so my entire first part of my adult life, I was just, look, happy to be here, happy to be in this awful marriage, being disrespected and being put down because, my father said, this is what I'd be good for. So I'm glad a man wants me and I have a kid that's not his. So, like you said, you don't know that. All you know is this, Linda.
Right.
So 10 years ago, when I moved from my home in Florida to Texas, I was here as a struggling single mom. My kids were in middle school, and I had a beat up truck, and I certainly didn't consider myself a high achiever, even
Mhm.
though if we break down from then to now, all I've done is achieve, even though I was just like trying to get out of the pit,
Mhm.
trying to get
Yeah.
out of the pit, you know, get a job, be without a job, go on food stamps, go on unemployment, get a job, be without a job, go on food stamps, go on unemployment. Oh, launch a book. I didn't really get another job. Oh, got fired. Let me launch my business. Oh, that didn't work. Let me get a job again. And so that when I look back, those are it. I am a high achieving woman, but the reason I don't resonate with that is because I started to achieve things in my adult life in the past 10 years because of these habits of high performance that I
Mhm.
implemented.
Yeah.
Not because I had any type of degrees, even though I did graduate with a degree at 40. Not because I had achieved all the things and I had checked off all the boxes and I had traveled and I lived my single life and then I had the credit score and the cars and the whatever. I I got that now.
Mhm.
And so, whenever I see marketing that's like, oh, high achieving women, I help high achieving women. I still do not, even though I know that I achieve, right?
Mhm.
And I am results driven. Like what you said, many high achieving women have achieved, and found that what they thought these achievements would bring, which was the
Yep.
money and the freedom and the peace of mind, it didn't come. So
Right.
I quickly experienced that when I did the TED Talk and it didn't land me any other speaking gigs. When I wrote a book and nobody bought the book, like who would buy my book? No one's checking for me, really. Like when I launched the book and then I didn't know how to create a course from the chapters. When I was doing all these things, oh, I had a podcast with X amount of downloads and people were reading my blog. And I mean, I was connecting the blog to Pinterest and
Mhm.
people were doing all the little clicks, all the
Right.
check boxes, but it wasn't turning into money.
Yeah.
So what I have found is that the habits of high performance is what has allowed me now to be like, okay, that's great. You're achieving, and it's not achievements.
Mhm.
So even though, again, on paper and based on the behaviors and the things that I've achieved, okay, Linda, you're a high achiever, but I don't connect with that term
Right.
because I know that high achievers usually are stuck in this thing of achieving more, getting another certification, doing more, 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 and nothing. And I don't resonate
Mhm.
with that with
Mhm.
somebody who does more, 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 and is not getting any money. And so that's why I like high performance, and I like to
Mhm.
teach women the habits of high performance so that they can perform. They can turn those achievements into like money, and that
Right.
same energy that gets you your achievements, can turn into something else. That's so cool. So we both met at a live uh, a live thing like a Zoom or like a meeting, somebody's event.
It was like a multi-day, not a conference, but it was definitely like an event where
Okay.
content was being shared and somebody has something to pitch at the end. But it was a multi-day thing.
Okay.
And we
And
were in a
we were
breakout.
there and we broke off into a breakout room.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then we connected.
we did. We did because Linda, you are someone who has an immediate impact, and you had an immediate impact on me. And it's a rare it's a rare thing to find, particularly when I think that they were giving us 10 minutes at a time. I remember it was like this super speed networking type of thing during a break, and you were paired with someone randomly, and we were paired randomly, and we got 10 minutes. And I think that we extended at least once or twice, I think, because we had like a 30-minute break, and the idea was to meet like three people during that 30-minute break. But we were having such a good conversation that we both had to agree to extend ourselves another 10 minutes and another 10 minutes. And yeah, like just your energy, the way that you were showing up in the event, the way that you just immediately were just sharing, you were very, intently listening to who I am and what it is that I do. And I could feel like you were genuinely interested. And immediately there were things that you had to share based on what I said, and you started pouring into me. And I was just like, she is somebody that I really need to know. I knew that immediately. And so I think I sent you a friend request or something right after that, and we got connected.
Yeah, right. It's like who friended who? I don't know. But then you came to Texas
I did. I did. This was a few years ago. I
like two
want to
years
say
ago.
2022. No,
Mm-hmm.
was it 2022?
It
It
was
was
2022.
2022. That's right. Um, so I was at a mastermind event in Austin, and I told you that I was going to be there for a few days. And you were like, okay, that's not far from where I am. And we figured out that I had some, like a block of time, I think, before the mastermind got started, because I had come a day early. And you drove, was it like 2 hours?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. You were like, I'm coming to meet you. Because when people come, anywhere near where I am, and they're important to me, I travel and I visit them. So you surely did drive to Austin, and we spent essentially the day together. And you took me to lunch. We were around and talking, and then we went to dinner. And it was just an amazing day. It was an amazing day. There was so much that I learned, so much that you were just willing to share, and we just had fun at the same time. It was a lovely day. I'll always remember that.
I It was a lovely day. I remember it fondly. And the thing that at that point, the thing that I wanted you to know, and that I want anybody that I meet to know, is that I am never showing up like I'm better than anybody. I
Mm,
don't care what you're doing in your business or not, what your revenue is or not. You are a woman,
mhm.
and I am a woman.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to meet you and connect with you. And so many people be like, you drove all the way out there. She wasn't even your client. Why would you do that? Because she is a very important person.
Mm,
She's Monica Charisse. And so I teach my clients to create clients, but I didn't drive out there because I wanted you to be my client.
mhm,
But when you build relationships, that's
mhm.
exactly, we don't know what's going to come of that relationship, but it's going to be good. It's got to be
Right.
good. It's got to be good. So I remember maybe a few months later, um, I was launching something, the portal or one of those offers that I was trying out.
I think it was the portal. I do think it was the portal. Yeah.
And you were like, all right, I'm going to try this. I'm in.
Yes.
Tell me what you were hoping to get, what you actually did get, and what happened.
So we started the portal, and I remember that, as that was the year that I was making the transition from being self-employed but fully supported by someone else's contract, to making the turn to being fully entrepreneurial, sourcing all my own opportunities and working for myself.
Mhm.
So I was looking for an offer that was in the realm of what I could actually pay. And so I did join it. And I remember the thing that I'll always, I think, take away and remember was the turbo funnel process that
That
you
thing is
had.
fire. That thing is fire.
That thing right there. I mean, it really did change my whole, what you taught changed my whole approach to having conversations with prospective clients. Because I came from the school of thinking that you put yourself out there, you hope that people are interested based on your content, or you reaching out to people, you give them your scheduling link, and you talk to anybody that will book a call. There was no real process for vetting people, no real process for filtering people. It was like a numbers game. Just talk to as many people as you can, and like somebody will buy.
Right. It's
And with
a
that,
because you come from a school of thought. We're not gonna say because it doesn't matter, but they
right,
teach do consults, do consults, do
right,
consults. Right.
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 Yes. Yes, and then what happens when you do that is what was happening to me is that you have no shows. You have people who are just exploring. They have no idea what it would cost to invest in your services. And then you have these conversations that seem like they're going really well. And then you tell them what the offer is, and they're like deer in the headlights. And like, and then they ghost you and you can never find them. You try to follow up and it just goes nowhere. And so you go into those conversations completely blind. They're blind, you're blind, and you're just hoping that something works. And when you are a person who has a lot going on and time is essential, you don't have that kind of time to really put into a crapshoot.
Hmm.
So the turbo funnel process really, I think, in a very direct, firm, frank, yet very professional, and I think empathic way, lets people know what you're about, what it
Yeah.
is, and what is required to work with you. It gives them enough information so that, okay, if this isn't really going to work, I already know that I'm not going to book this call, because the questions, too many questions, he's asking me too much, or the investment is too high. And so it filters people out who are just looking to explore, maybe looking for some free coaching on your call, hoping that you're going to be generous with your coaching. And I have absolutely implemented that in my business.
I love it. I'm so proud of you for doing that. That
Yes,
thing changes lives.
it does.
So, that is so cool. So now you're fully on your own. You're a consultant, but you're no longer relying on someone else to feed you contracts. Now
Hmm.
you're getting your own contracts.
Yep.
And I love that.
Yes.
Love this so much.
Yeah.
So we met and you were like basically looking for Linda for sales. And now you've stayed connected to me because
Hmm.
just because we're not working together doesn't mean we're not connected, right?
Right.
And you're watching me shift my messaging, right? Instead of leading with sales, 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 I'm doing something different.
Hmm.
And we decided to have a conversation a couple weekends ago. I really
Hmm.
enjoyed it. Tell
Hmm.
me, and we spoke about the whole thing, religion versus spirituality and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
Tell me how you are feeling about this message of rise and disrupt. How do you resonate with it? Because you still like, I like that. Do you consider yourself
Mhm.
disruptive? And how do you like this pivoting into working me now, focusing on all the areas
Mhm.
of a woman's lives? Well, I was doing that before,
Mhm.
but
You
I was
were. You were.
only
Mhm.
talking about sales with my marketing message. So
Yep.
tell me about that.
Yeah. I love everything that you're doing, and I completely resonate with it. I think it is the conversation that is necessary, particularly among women who are looking to create what it is that they really want in their lives. I think there are a lot of women who are sleepwalking through their lives, and particularly at a certain point have lost contact with their dreams and have made a decision in advance that certain things are not possible for them. And even for the women who have decided to jump out there and start a business, many of us are still dealing with the identity shift that is necessary in order to really cultivate the kind of results in our business. So one of the reasons that it does resonate with me is because when I decided to become a coach, I thought, okay, I want to have this online coaching business. I'm going to go get certified, and then I'm going to go take all the classes. And we've talked about this, and you tease me mercilessly about the incredible amount of an investment that I have made in my personal and professional development as a business owner. I went out and immediately started buying all the classes and courses that taught sales and marketing and how to run an online, webinar, and how to create presentations that get people to buy your offers, and all of the mechanics of what it takes to run a business. And then I wouldn't do any of it. I wouldn't do any of the things, or I would come across this resistance and reluctance. And I didn't learn until much later that what people really need to focus on, especially women, is your state of mind, and like where is your heart? What is your reason for doing this? What do you value in your life, and how is that connected to the work that you want to do in the world? You have to understand why you matter and why the work that you're doing is so important, because if you are not connected to that in a really deep way, when things get hard at the soonest difficulty, you will just bail and jump ship and go do something else. So getting into like that deep soul work, like that, up under the hood, and really understanding who you are in the world and why who you are is important, it matters, and the work that you're doing is necessary. That is the work that's going to keep you going when the winds of life are, you know, got you going here and there. So I think I love calling women forward. Like, you call us out, but you call us forward. It's not calling out in terms of like any kind of shaming. It's like, do you know who you are, woman? Like, if I could like condense everything that you say into like one powerful statement or a
Mhm.
question, it's, do you know who you are, woman? And I feel like that is what Rise and Disrupt is all about. Is like, do you know who you are? And you need to really step into that identity and step into it powerfully. And once you understand yourself and you possess yourself in that way, there's nothing that you can't do.
No. Thank you for putting that so eloquently and beautiful. And it's eloquent because it is. And it sounds beautiful because you speak so wonderfully. But the truth is that the work necessary, right?
Hmm.
The polishing that the woman has to go through
It's
to,
hard.
is hard.
It is the most difficult work
It is
that
the
you'll
most
ever do.
difficult work. You know, and there's things that I didn't understand before when I would buy the courses with the scripting or the journaling, and I'm like, and I would try it for a couple of days, and then I'd just give it up. And oh, I'm supposed to do this at
Hmm.
night too. Get out of here. Something as simple as journaling, beginning your day. I never understood getting up at 5 a.m. for what.
Hmm.
Now I'm like, I gotta get up. I want to get up at 5 a.m. I want to meet my trainer at 6. I want to be home by 7 something. I want to make my cup of coffee. I want to journal. I want to read 10 pages of a book. I want to intentionally
Hmm.
create my day.
Yeah.
I want to assess yesterday's day. What worked? What didn't work? Why did I lose my cool? What was I thinking? Do I need to text that person? Who do I need to call today? Who do I need to say sorry to? Like,
Hmm.
people think that I'm not spending time doing that. That is so key.
Yes. That is creating an intentional life. Most people are not living an intentional life.
Creating an intentional life. And when you're intentional, you realize God gave me this body. He did not give me a body full of inflammation. He didn't give me a
Hmm.
body full of illnesses. I
Hmm.
literally created this. True, there are things that people are born with genetics. I don't want anyone listening to this and being like, that's not real. I'm
Hmm.
talking about you were not born 80 pounds overweight.
Hmm.
But
Right.
we do this. We do this to our bodies because we're in pain, hiding a pain of whatever the pain might be from our past, from our childhood, from our
Hmm.
marriages. And
Yeah.
if it's not food, then it's alcohol. If it's not alcohol, it's
Hmm.
literally throwing away our money because we can't hold it. We're not
Yep.
worthy of it.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
can't have it.
Got to spend
Because
it.
gotta spend it. Because money is this energy that's very masculine. It's protective, like what we seek for, we seek in a
Hmm.
man, right? It gives us this security that we seek in a man. And so we treat money like, oh child, I'm not even gonna go there. Like, what kind of
Right.
relationships you got with men? Let's look at your money.
Right.
Hmm, you don't feel worthy. Tell me about your last relationship. Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Like, these things that women don't think, no, 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 I need a sales course. No, 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 no. What I need is a funnel course. I need uh client attraction posts.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And it's like, no, you need all of this. And it just so happens that I am a beast at all things online
Right.
sales. So look at
Right.
you. You're about to win.
Right. You about to win 2, 3 times.
Okay. You're about to truly know who you are
Mm-hmm.
because we were all born with a purpose. And
Yeah.
according to the book, A Happy Pocket Full of Money,
Mm-hmm.
you choose that purpose. So many people want to discover it. Choose it.
No, you create it and
Feeling
create it.
there,
Mm-hmm.
child. So I'm so excited because this is what we're doing. I
Yeah.
grew up in church, but I'm not religious or churchy.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love the scripture. I love the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Mm-hmm.
calling out people who call themselves women of faith, people
Mm-hmm.
of faith, and are literally living meager lives. That's not what
Yep.
God intended. It's
Mm-hmm.
not abundant, right? You're whatever you're speaking into existence. I don't know what you're doing because it's
Mm-hmm.
not what God intended. So how do you feel about, because I know you've read my post, like I
Mm-hmm.
go with scripture and in the same post I'm like, and stop your fucking bullshit. But you were just
Right.
talking about Jesus.
Yes. Jesus flipped tables. What are they talking about?
You know what I'm saying? And I also believe this. I don't know if you agree, you probably will, but
Uh-huh.
I believe that, and the Bible says that the gospel shall go through all the world. There will be no one left on earth who has not heard the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that God uses everyone. Like there
Yes.
are tatted up dudes,
Mm-hmm.
like reformed drug addicts, all sorts of people that God uses
Absolutely.
to be the vessel, the conduit, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that that person can connect with all those people that are gonna that like that way of messaging.
Yep.
And I think that I don't want to denounce God. I love God. I'm not an
Mm-hmm.
atheist. Yet
Mm-hmm.
I am here for the woman who traditional religious dogma
Mm-hmm.
and control rules of control within an
Mm-hmm.
organization called the church, whatever church you go to, that shit doesn't work for you, but you have tried it on, you have tried connecting with God, you've actually hear from God,
Mm-hmm.
you are spirit led, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to do all these other things. Like I'm here for the rebels, for the
Yeah.
religious rebels,
Mm-hmm.
the women that are like, I love the Lord, but fuck around and find out.
How about that?
I'd be like,
I,
the Lord
yes.
is still working on me.
Yes. Yes. And it's all expressions. Like it's all expressions of God to me. I
It
also
is.
believe that there's no box.
There is no box because people love to uh only focus on Peter sinking because he had little faith. Peter was
Mm-hmm.
gangster AF. All those disciples in the boat went to their grave
Mm-hmm.
wondering what it would be like to walk on water
Walking on
when
water.
all they had to do
Mm-hmm.
was like just do the same thing
Get
that
out the
Peter
boat.
said, Master, if it's you, tell me to come out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he did. Only human being other than Jesus, right, who walked on water. And
Mm-hmm.
all those other disciples, I'm imagining that in their old age, when Peter was out here writing letters to the
Mm-hmm.
church and doing all these other books that he wrote in the Bible, they were like, yeah, Peter, man, I remember him.
Mm-hmm.
We was out there hanging out with Jesus, man. That one time that's
Yep.
that's all. Those people exist. Yeah, I knew Monica. I knew Monica when we were in that coaching program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, Monica's on the stage. Oh, I knew Monica. That's
Mm-hmm.
what they went to their grave saying. I knew.
Right. Right. And I
Right.
wonder if.
Right. And
I
so
wonder what
Peter
would have
had
happened.
anger problems and all this. Peter was loyal. He was like, "What you say
Mm-hmm.
about my friend Jesus?" Chop that ear
Mm-hmm.
right off.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck with my friend. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like that. I'm very
Yeah.
Peter-esque.
Yes.
And then be like, you know what, God, you made me this way. I always
Yeah.
go, He made me in His image. He must be a little
Yes.
gangster.
Yes.
And he must be very inquisitive. I had lots of questions about
Mhm.
existence and who made God and why are we here? My parents were like, stop asking all those questions. But I'm here for those people who are like, I love God and I'm not an
Mhm.
atheist and I go to
Mhm.
church and I tithe. I believe in
Mhm.
tithing. I believe my money is a seed. I believe my word is a seed. But also, No, I'm not gonna do whatever.
Mhm.
If I don't wear this, then I'm going to hell. If I
Right.
don't talk
If
this
I
way,
wear
then
red lipstick. Mhm.
heathen.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to any woman who's like, why would I join? Why would I be trying to rise and disrupt? I'm in business. Why do I want to join a movement of being disruptive? How is that going to help me in my business?
Because business is a vehicle for creating the change in the world that you want to see. I think that most of us, who become entrepreneurs, it if there is not a deeper reason why, again, like before, when things get hard, you will cut and run and fold. And so, if you are somebody who is out to truly change lives, to make a difference in the world, for your business to be a force for good, for you to have the things in your life that you want so that you can be an example of what's possible for somebody else, then you absolutely need to embark on the type of deep inner work that is going to allow you to be grounded in who you are and able to withstand the winds of life as it relates to creating this vision for your life that your business is a conduit for. Like the business is a conduit for something else that you're trying to, tap into in your life, that purpose that you're creating, that impact that you're creating. And so being with a coach like you, who is going to hold feet to the fire and really be the mirror that a woman needs when she especially gets wavery about what it is that she wants to do, I think is absolutely the power move. Absolutely the power move.
God, you sold me. I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go and roll.
Yes. It is. It's the power move. And I mean, to be honest, another reason why I like what you're doing, and I say that this is a needed conversation, is because there's not a lot of people out there, especially among women, who are having this conversation that is tying in business with identity, with spiritual work, with deep soul work. Um, and so there is, I think, a yearning in the space for someone who is bringing it all together into one conversation, and not that you have to go to this person for this and this person for that and this group for this conversation, but it's all kind of like woven together.
Hmm. I hate to use this word, a holistic approach.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I mean, it really is. It
It
really is.
is. I cannot wait. I'm so excited about the rest of this year.
Mhm.
Monica, where can people find you? If somebody wants to hire you, work with you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Monica Sharice. You can also find me send me a friend request. I'm Monica Sharice on Facebook. I do have a Facebook community called Haven, and it is by invitation only. So shoot me a message. We can talk about it, see if it's a fit for you. But yeah, those are the two ways you can get to me.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. I know you've got to be somewhere soon.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Everyone, thanks for being here. Check us out in the next episode.
Thank you.